Hey, what's up, guys? This is Noah for Authentic by Design, and today I'm going to tackle the question, what is truth? So before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you get the messages when new episodes come out and you stay up to date with content. All right, let's get into it. What is truth? What is truth in the absolute sense of the word? Truth with a capital T. Well, truth is that which is. Take a moment to think about that. Truth is that which is. Truth is what's real. Truth is reality. And so it goes without saying, anything that is not real is therefore not truth. But how do you know if you're living in truth or living in not truth? How do you know if you're actually experiencing reality or experiencing a fantasy? Well, it all comes down to your awareness or your ability to be aware of the present moment, that which is as it is. Okay? If you're living from a space of not awareness, then it's most likely you're living in fantasy. But let's go deeper than that, okay? You have to understand that truth is not something that anyone can tell you. Truth is not something that can be bought or sold in a gift shop or online. It can't be read in a book. It can't be watched in a video. It can't be listened to in a podcast, right? Why is that, right? Well, when you think about the most profound insights from the greatest masters, mystics, sages, experts of all time, the way these insights are conveyed is through language, through words, either orally or in a written format. If the insight is being conveyed orally, then really what you're experiencing is arbitrary sounds, air being moved through my vocal cords and out of my mouth. But it's completely arbitrary whatever those sounds are. And the words themselves, critically, the words themselves represent concepts that are not the words. The same with the black ink on the white piece of paper. You open your book and there's symbols all over the page that you've learned to interpret, but these symbols represent something other than the word themselves. All right? The word cat is not actually a cat. The word tree is not actually tree. So words in and of themselves representing some other thing cannot be truth. Symbols cannot be truth. Truth can't be bought or sold. It can't be communicated. Truth can only be directly experienced. And this is why truth is not mine to give. No one can give you the truth. No one can tell you the truth, right? If words are not truth, then literally no one can tell you truth. The only way you know anything is true with the capital T in the absolute sense is if you directly experience it, first person, present tense. That's it. That's the only way you can verify reality. Anything else is simply superstition or dogma or a limiting belief or a wish or a dream or a hope that you have. But it's not truth. It's not truth. That is the fantasy, right? That is the fantasy because it's not truth. So back to present moment awareness and developing it. In order to experience truth, you need present moment awareness, because what you need to be aware of is everything that is not truth. Because there are all sorts of traps and sticky situations for you to fall into and get stuck in and bogged down by. I'll give you an example, right? Most people are living their lives through the lens of conditioned notions, limiting beliefs, false perceptions, misguided judgments, and subtle manipulations, which they don't even realize they're doing. They're often inherited from your family or your teachers, your early childhood friends, the culture you grew up in, the society you grew up in. And these ideas, these notions, they cloud our judgment. They cloud our ability to see what's real. It's like looking at your reality through beer goggles. If you've ever worn beer goggles, they simulate drunkenness and they distort your perception of what's really real. That's what your conditioned notions are to your entire life. And so your present moment awareness is your ability to recognize when you are living in not truth. Because what these conditioned notions lead to is storytelling. Storytelling in fantasy land, right? Where you start to concoct these ideas, literally like full-blown stories, novels about how you perceive the way reality is, what that person is over there to you, or what your conception of self is, or what that entire group of people is like, or what that experience that you've never gone through might be like. You start to create these fantasies, but they're fantasy because you've never directly experienced any of it. And I'll admit, this was actually quite a difficult concept for me to really grasp. Like, I understood it intellectually, but I didn't really get it on the experiential level until I actually caught myself for the first time telling a story. I observed something in my reality, and my mind just went down a rabbit hole, and I started to fabricate this story that was completely fictitious, that had no basis in reality whatsoever. I was assessing value judgments on somebody else that I had just seen, I didn't even know, for like 5 whole minutes before I caught myself in the loop and realized, like, what am I doing? Right? I made an observation about something that was totally normal, like somebody walking by, and I ended up in this fantasy world in my head. I went, oh, that's what happens. That's the fantasy land. That's the fantasy world, right? And until you really like catch yourself in these moments, you're not going to get it. And that might sound trite. That might sound mundane. Like, okay, so what? You saw somebody, Noah, and you told a story about them. It was only 5 minutes. But here's the thing, is that you don't know you're doing it. Most people have no idea whatsoever that they're living in a fantasy world, and they're doing it all the time. Okay, you have no idea how often you get lost in your own head, in your own thoughts that have nothing to do with the way reality actually is. You are telling yourself a story, like your entire life. You're just telling yourself this story, and you're not actually being. You're not actually being. Present moment awareness is about your ability to just be with reality as it is. No judgments, no distortions, no criticisms, no manipulations, no avoiding anything, just being with what is and having that experience. Reality is what you're left with. Truth with the capital T is what you're left with when you strip away all of the judgments and the limiting notions, the limiting beliefs that you carry around with you all the time that you don't even know that you carry. Let me put it this way. Imagine you live to the ripe old age of 100, right? You live this wonderful life and you're on your deathbed and somebody's asking you, hey, tell us about, your adventures, like the one that you remember most. And all of a sudden you realize that you had all of these adventures, but you can't remember a single detail from the years between 20 and 65. Think about that. What if you were missing that significant a chunk of your life? What if you were going through life entirely asleep and you missed all of it? That's the seriousness of this predicament. Being caught in the fantasy loop, being caught up in Lalaville. So it's critically important, if you really want to develop yourself, if you really want to experience life the way you desire to experience it, whether that's success in business or a superbly fulfilling relationship or, really optimal health and physical well-being, or a deep spiritual connection, or internal fulfillment, real internal fulfillment, then you have to get in touch with reality, with what's real. Because as long as you're experiencing truth or reality through not truth, through the lens of distortion, then you're gonna run into problems. Like, can you see how if your entire worldview is based on false paradigms and incorrect assumptions and judgments and notions which are blatantly false, can you see how that would cause problems in your life? Everything from failure in business to poor health to relationships that never last and weren't fulfilling, to a disconnection from your true spiritual self. Right? That's the stakes that you're working with. And everything around you, maybe not everything, but a lot of things all the time are trying to distract your attention, are trying to keep you in the notions. They're trying to keep you in the notions. Because the thing about the conditioned belief, the conditioned notion, whatever perception it is that's holding you back, that's fundamentally flawed, you have it for a reason. You have it and you haven't shed it yet because either A, you haven't made the effort, or B, it makes you feel safe. Because you can fit reality in this nice little square box and everything's got its place and it works exactly the way you want it to work. That makes you feel good about it. And when you take away these notions, when you strip away these ideas through which you've viewed the world your whole life and you realize, oh, I don't know shit, that's deeply uncomfortable for a lot of people, right? That is deeply uncomfortable. No one said the road is going to be easy. Right? In fact, it might be the greatest undertaking you ever make because, the irony is that so many people are willing to give up life and limb, sacrifice everything for the most trivial of nonsenses, for love or for religion or, for country and king, right? With the misguided belief that our beliefs, the way we see things, our notions are better than your notions. They're all notions. They're all fantasies. None of it's real. So how can something that's not real be better than anything else that's not real? You're trapped in the paradigm. And breaking yourself free may be the most difficult undertaking you ever make because we hang on to these trivial nonsenses, but we're also unwilling to give up even the slightest the slightest cause of our own suffering. Right? It's a weird backwards conundrum, but that's the grand trickster at work. That is the grand illusion. And so, like I said, when you strip away these notions, when you finally get down to it and you just peel away bit by bit, layer of the onion by layer of the onion, everything that is not truth, what you're left with, what you're really left with is truth, absolute truth with the capital T, reality as it is. As it is. So if you're somebody, let's do an exercise, actually. Let's do an exercise together. So you have a picture of what this is actually like in your life. I invite you to just close your eyes, okay? Take a deep breath in. All right, and then just become aware of your thoughts. Just become aware of the happenings in the room around you. Become aware of your body. You may catch yourself thinking about trying to be aware. That's not the exercise, right? Just let go, just be. Just notice what comes up. All right, so open your eyes. What came up for you? What did you notice? Did you catch yourself thinking about all the shit you have to do? Like the laundry and the bills? Were you thinking about somebody else? Were you thinking about your boss who's a jerk and how you're gonna tell him off the next time he's unfair to you? You see, none of these things are really real. Yes, you have a boss and you have laundry and you have bills, but the stories that you concoct about them are not real. That's diverting your awareness away from what is real, from the present moment, the here and the now, and living off in some fairy tale land about whatever you're thinking about. So that was like 60 seconds worth of awareness, all right? It's easy to be aware. It's easy to be present moment for a short amount of time, especially when somebody cues you into it. The real trick is living your life, your entire life in present tense, here and now awareness. That is a great undertaking. It's the reason why meditation is so important, and I've mentioned it in a few other videos, and I'm going to keep talking about it because it is the practice of being aware. The meditation itself is not where you get enlightenment. The meditation is the practice for living your life as a meditation, living your life in the here and now. Okay? This is what all the great masters were able to do. This is what you are able to do if you apply yourself. Now, you might be thinking, well, no, I don't want to become a great master. That's fine. Okay, I'm not telling you have to be. That's not the only practical application. You see, when you're living in the here and now, present tense awareness, your relationships improve. You are much more satisfied in your career. You start making more money. Your sex is better. Food tastes great. Exercise is a lot of fun. Like, your friendships get that much deeper. Your romantic relationships just get so much more intimate. It's not just about becoming like a spiritual nerd on top of a mountain. It's about just living your best life, about becoming whoever it is that you were meant to be. But in order to be who you were meant to be, do you realize that you have to be that person? And if you're distracted by the notions that are fantasy, then you're not being who you really are. You're lost in some other world that's not real. That's why this is so important. Truth with the capital T belongs to no one. I can't tell you the truth. I'm not here to tell you anything. You have to discover it for yourself through direct experience, because it belongs to the Creator. It belongs to Source or the Force or God, whatever you want to call it. It is no man's to give. So what I can do, though, is guide you along the way, because the words, although they are not the truth themselves, they are pointers, signposts, if you will, that indicate which direction truth might be. And it's your job to not look at the finger that's pointing or look at the sign, but look in the direction of the pointing. Do you see? And this is how you discover truth in your experience. This is how you become who you were meant to be. Truth is directly experienced. Truth is that which is. So, thanks everyone today for watching. Thumbs up if you like the video. Comment. Make sure you subscribe. And you can also follow the link below, which is going to take you to a course that I created for you to help you achieve self-actualization in this life experience. That means becoming who you were meant to be, becoming your epitome of the best self you could possibly be here and now in this lifetime. The video is called Reality Revolution, and it is what I see to be the most important things you need to know, the things that you must know in order to accomplish your mission in life, whatever that may be. Athlete, creative, actor, entrepreneur, politician, sage on a mountaintop, whatever you want to be. I created this for you. If you're somebody who is sick and tired of being sick and tired, if you're feeling anxious or depressed or unworthy, this is for you. If you're lost or bored to death in your 9-to-5, this is for you. If you're somebody who just knows deep within their being, just feels that deep down you were called for so much more in this life. You were called to do and be so much more, to have an impact, then this is for you. This is for you. And I hope if you've stuck around this long in the video, you know, it's probably likely that you're on this path already, and I hope you will walk the path with me, because I am still growing. I am still developing. I don't know everything yet, but I hope to one day. And I hope we can grow together. This is why I'm here. This is why I created this channel, because I really desire to help people achieve what they want to achieve, because the world becomes truly magnificent when we do that. Selfishly, I benefit. When you do what you were meant to do, I benefit. You make the world a better place for me too, and I make the world a better place for you. So I hope you'll stay with me in this journey. I hope you'll keep coming back week after week and grow with me. So thanks for watching. Check out the links, thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video.